Hi there, this is Questy. Here we stand in front of the yawning entrance of the final dungeons of the base game of Grim Dawn, and here is QuestySparks ready to go kick ass and send a blood god back to his blood realm. So let's get underway, shall we? By the end of this session, either I will be dead or the blood god will be banished. One of the two. I am fairly confident that it's going to be the blood god who ends up getting his comeuppance. You never know. Stuff can happen. I can forget to watch my health bar, all of those good things. Okay, we're going to try to pull people in here instead of just eating salvos of gunfire from around the corner. There we go. Wow, that guy really kind of took some damage to deal with. All right, so this is going to be basically another like Sunnydale High School scenario here, where as we get into this little story element here and this little dungeon, it's going to be one of those cases of, I'm sorry, you built a city over what? Even if it's a city of the dead, it seems ill-advised what they've done here. Ooh. We are close. Very, very close. And we're probably going to get enough, in the bag to level again in this area. I would think. Potentially. We've got ourselves, I think, two skull bosses before we hit the final boss of the game. So there's good, ample opportunities for us to level in here, I think. Right, man, we are laying down some area denial there. This devastation brought to you by me rubbing sticks together until they electrocute you. I think there's a thing. There's something there. I'm sure there is. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that's somewhere else. Must be. If there's not... Unless... There we go. I knew it. Never a doubt in my mind. I also suspect nonsense. Yeah, see? I knew it. I knew you couldn't let me loot in peace. Come on to your tricks, Grim Dawn, if that's your real name.
I can't do that yet.
Myself and a buddy, we always used to play Path of Exile together. And we sort of took on this thing of every time the game would do something annoying to us, you know, he'd just be like, Chris! Because of course, you know, Chris is kind of the developer of Path of Exile, Grinding Gear Games. We had one day when this game had just screwed us over in some particular way. We actually had to stop and go to Wikipedia to find out what the guy's name was that had made this game so that we could curse his name in the same way that we used to with Chris Wilson. Of course, it's meant in jest entirely because both games, you know, we both absolutely love. But it turns out this guy's name is what's his name? Something Bruno. So the call became Bruno. But I'm letting him off the hook lately. I don't want to anger the spirit of Bruno. Since I'm playing hardcore, I don't have too many chances to recover from his wrath via the medium of games. Oh, be careful. High voltage area. Ah, secrets, eh? Well, I'm onto your tricks. I know how these are activated. That was pretty lackluster. But then again, I guess it wasn't too hard to get into, so I suppose I'll let that slide. Oh, we can start building ourselves a little turret wall here, because those guys are coming from somewhere. Wait, how far away are they? Okay, never mind. Okay, it looks like they're finally rolling in now.
That skill's not ready.
That storm is pretty cool looking. And really kind of just annihilates people too. Let's check here. We have ourselves an elite, which is worth our time. Okay, taking a little bit of damage there, but nowhere near as much as they are. Yeah, excellent. That storm here, lightning storm, is actually really meshing incredibly well. It's just kind of providing a little bit of steady damage output because the totems are bursty, right? Like, I mean, obviously they do inflict electrocute damage as well, which kind of keeps the damage coming even after the totem is in its cooldown cycle, but it's much better to have that storm just continually ticking damage on the enemy. Cleans up these groups even faster. I can imagine there's probably some pretty good build options around entirely going with the lightning storm. Okay, so here we go. The door has opened. The blood flows. The cult is getting pretty excited about what they're up to here. They're about to have a real tough time, though. We could explore more. We're not going to. We're going to press straight on ahead. Okay, that was a dumb move right there. That was sort of a fuck you to the monsters, just pushing through them like that. I need to not do that. My character's in pretty good shape, but I am kind of a glass cannon. As you can see, the ground is shaking. There's definitely something going on in these here tunnels, and it's probably not something good for humanity, or really any of the denizens of this world. So we're going to go and try to find out what that is, but I think there's no real spoilers on this one. That is the blood god clawing his way out of the abyss. And coming our way. Not a good thing, particularly. Depending on your expectations. I mean, I'm sure these guys would disagree. Chewing through things pretty steadily here. We are going to have ourselves one more... Ooh, let's just dodge those volleys. You never know. We're going to have one more rather interesting encounter as we get deeper in here. Oh, and we've got ourselves a monster totem too. That's exciting. Okay, there's some solid damage output on those guys. I can't remember exactly my way around this place. I think I might need to go the other way to actually get out of here. But I'm just going to clear the area so that we can take on that totem. And this, honestly, is probably one of my best opportunities to get this character killed before the final fight. And the final boss in this, I think I might have mentioned it before, but after all you go through to get to him, I would say he's almost disappointing. You know, not really... I would be surprised if I have that much trouble with that fight. I would be more likely to die here, essentially, if I had to guess. And that does strike me as a little bit weird. Okay, actually I need to avoid all their death explosions, because that is the thing that could get me. Almost got me in the past. Alvaric's Rebuke. Bit of lightning Well. I don't know about you, but I'm possibly seeing a better weapon for myself there. Okay, so 68 lightning damage. We lose the electrocute damage, but +2 to all shaman skills is a fuck ton better than +2 to one shaman skill. I'm actually going to go ahead and use that. Bladed Rift. Vanish into thin air and instantly transport yourself towards a target destination to unleash a flurry of blades upon your foes. Some Nightblade magic right there. I actually have a hardcore Nightblade that I haven't really developed very much just because they can feel a little bit dangerous to develop early on in hardcore playthroughs, but that's not to say that I might not get back into that. Okay, so we're gonna have to go really quickly here and craft ourselves some amber to put on this new weapon. I will then have to visit the illusionist to make sure that we look optimally cool. I don't know here. I don't know. Oh, it's two-handed. Oh. The things I don't look at. It is nice, but not for us. Unfortunately, two-handed weapon means that we are losing our offhand with its additional summon limit and its minus 1.5 second skill recharge. So, cool and all that, but I think this would be much better suited towards a Primal Strike character, which is in no way a bad thing because Primal Strike is really fun to use. But we're going to tuck that away for now and get straight back into the dungeon.
Let's see what I can do here.
Okay, thanks. My bad. Let's get our electrified weapons aura back up so that we have optimal damage. And then get straight back to it. Well, that was... I should have thought right away that +2 all skills is generally a two-handed weapon thing at this level. And it won't be up until you're getting sort of empowered versions of these where you start to see that amount on a one-handed weapon. And even then, it's not super common.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is a dead end, isn't it? This is where some of the gap-clearing travel skills would be nice, like you have in Path of Exile, you know, just being able to leap over those little chasms and stuff like that. Which is basically not possible due to how the engine does its thing in this game. But we can still make sort of least distance headway towards the final boss here. What have we here? That's an interestingly sparse weapon. I mean, the ether lightning is looking pretty good. A lot of lightning damage, actually, but it's only on critical attack, which is why it has such a high proc chance. Again, nothing for me. And interestingly sparse on base stats. So possibly nothing for really anybody. I haven't even really commented, but I can pretty honestly say this place is looking a little sketchy. Remember what I was saying about the whole Riverdale High? Sunnydale High, sorry, not Riverdale. Riverdale's like that Archie show or whatever, right? Archie show. Archie comics. Let's give the credit where it's due. I'm thinking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where they're just like, oh yeah, high school on top of the Hellmouth, why not? Okay. All right, Blood God, settle down. We're on our way. All right, we can see some signs that there's something special going on ahead. Now, if this was softcore, I would obviously drop a portal here just in case this guy gets the best of me, but we're not in softcore. So let's just have at it, shall we? Hey, asshole. I'm gonna pre-potion because he's real dangerous. But he's also gonna get nuked like all the rest of them by my lightnings. See, that's what you get for summoning the Blood God. without asking anyone. Ow. Someone just shoot at me? Or was that just... who knows. Oh, that's a cool wand. Is that actually the one? Oh no, that's not the one. There is one that's like a hand like that, but it's just flipping you the middle finger. Alright, so here we go. Here's basically his last thing where he's opened the final seal. And as you can see, so this portal here, this just takes us back up to the entrance. So our destination lies through here. And as you can see, things are pretty crazy on the other side. And this is a seal that was basically built by, from what I can gather, the Inquisitors, I think. They basically built this place. Now, if you're going through the lore and you're reading some of the lore notes here, a lot of them are from the workers who built the place, and they were sealed in here after they were done work. So they all died down here. Oh yeah, well here's the lore that I was talking about right here. They promised us freedom in exchange for 10 long years of backbreaking labor. But now I know that we are all going to die in this place. Last night, while we slept, they took all the tools and the food. The entrance to the chamber is now solid rock and buzzes with an unearthly hum as if swarms of wasps were inside. We've been sealed in this horrible place with nothing but these rune-covered crates. There's a putrid moisture to them that bites at the back of your nostrils. I can't stare at the writing on them for too long. They burn the eyes and blur the vision. I don't think we should open them, but the others are starting to get hungry and hoping there's food inside. I know there isn't any. Every muscle in my body is telling me to get as far from those crates as possible. The runes marking them are the same as those we were ordered to carve into the walls of this chamber. A little bit of a historical crime there, but you can tell that this whole place was very top secret. So basically, whatever was going on here, the Inquisition was sealing in the blood god, and they chose to do it underneath this necropolis, which was all kind of built as cover, as far as I can tell, to sort of create this giant focus and seal that allowed them to contain the blood god. And once the ethereals invaded, they could no longer protect it. And the cult of Chthon, their goal to free the blood god, were able to come here, shatter this seal, and set us up for our epic final encounter, which is right through this door. Now, when we get in here, we've got Ulgrim with us all of a sudden. Look at that. He's running right in. He's all over this. And so we are just going to get set and start to stack damage. We can pre-potion without too much trouble and quickly push through the first portion of the fight here. There's going to be a couple other mechanics that come up, but as you can see, they're essentially just champions. We're going to get some tentacles popping out of the ground and stuff like that as well. But really, these guys don't have much of a chance. You can see how quickly they're melting. We have to hot step around a little bit, but other than that, the blood god's a little bit inactive. I mean, you'd think we'd have some kind of horrifying, you know, non-consentical scenario going on, but you saw one of those tentacles pop up and just get instantaneously fried right there. Now, he's not looking good. We just gotta avoid, like, standing in his damage zones for any particular length of time. As you can see, our totem build allows us to continue moving constantly and target his off minions, even while we're continuing to just spray damage into him. And that's it. We have access to elite difficulty. The blood god is electrocuted appropriately. We've stopped the summoning. I thought he was called Chthon. He's called Lungorian. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't ask me where I get my lore. But standing in the middle of all this gore, that is exactly how fucking badass this build we've put together actually is. No fucking problem. And now, like I say, this is not usually a problem for any build, but you can see that what this build gives me is incredible mobility. I can simply keep moving out of danger zones while pouring damage into a target. You saw that we had, I believe, up to 4 totems at a time streaming damage into that guy. That was one of the faster kills in this first playthrough, because one of the things that he does have is quite a bit of health. So even though he is offensively pretty neutered, he does have a lot of health. And often you can end up sinking a little bit more time into his elite enemies that he summons in and stuff like that. we didn't have to because our totems just melted those fuckers. So yeah, this is feeling like a very powerful character. The build has worked out. Let's just say that. And it's cool because I hadn't done it before, so it's always nice to try something for the first time and get a pretty darn good reaction from it. Hey, that's pretty nice. Having both Ether Ray and Flame of Ignifar you would think would be cooler. The problem is you can only pick one. I wish you could fire a beam from each hand if you had a build that had both of those in, but you actually kind of can't, so it's not quite as exciting as I would hope. Alright, let's make sure we've looted everything in here before we head out. And that's it. Look at this ugly twat. Now, one thing that is kind of interesting... Oh, you'll notice also, Ulgrim, nowhere to be found. We're about to find out a little bit more about what happened with Ulgrim. But this guy here, he actually has kind of a replica boss that's hidden in the second expansion, or the second story content, which is Ashes of Malmouth. That boss, you go into it thinking you're going to have as easy a time as you do with this guy. You are not. You will die. So that one's going to be something we'll be careful about when we get there. Okay, and here we go. This is our way out. That sends us back up to the surface, and then we're going to head straight back to Fort Icon where we can talk to Inquisitor Krieg about what happened. Now, normally, when the game first came out, or if you don't own any DLCs, this would be the end and you would go back around to Elite. And there's a good chance that that's what I'm going to do with this character as well, so that we can step up our loot and step up our XP gain in Elite. But we have the DLCs, so this is where officially
Is it finished
Ashes of Malmouth begins. So we can tell him the beast has been banished, but Ulgrim was pulled into the void along with it. That's why I know Ulgrim.
So our great moment of triumph is soured with tragedy. The cult's defeat at the Necropolis marks humanity's first major victory in this conflict, proving that we are not going to simply lie down and let ourselves be wiped out by fiends and spirits. Word of this victory will spread and give people hope that someday this nightmare will truly be over. Yet we cannot forget those who sacrificed their lives to bring us here. Brave men and women of the Black Legion who took up arms in the defense of Uralai, a nation that scorned them as criminals, outcasts, and even traitors. In death, they were none of those things. They died as heroes. But I refuse to count Ulgrim among the dead just yet. I owe him that much. I could use your help. Are you with me?
Okay, so basically, in the normal game, Ulgrim is out of here, as far as I know. But in this, we can go and rescue him from the abyss. So I can tell him, hey, I need time, or just brush him off entirely, ask a couple of questions, but what I'm going to do instead is give y'all a little teaser of what's going to be coming up in Ashes of Malmouth when we eventually get there.
Arum Ital, Arum Ital, Loith Soler, Loith Bismir, Morum Ulgrim Thanakolo Utokrain! This is too dangerous. I need to find another way.
The rift gate! Something's coming through!
Inquisitor Krieg, Devil's Crossing was attacked.
Take it easy, John. What's happened?
Some new kind of Ethereum just smashed right through our defenses. We need reinforcements. We're in bad shape.
I'll send help, but I can't spare much. We're equally pressed here. The loss of Ulgrim to the Void may be more serious than you realize.
Ulgrim is dead, Creed. You must know that. My people need help now. We won't survive another attack.
John,
It came from Malmouth. That thing that attacked Devil's Crossing. I escaped the city with a small group 2 weeks ago. Most died crossing the burning fields. My father was pulled into the bog by cannibals. I had to leave him. I was the only one who made it to Devil's Crossing. Malmouth has been a living nightmare since the Grim Dawn. I was part of the resistance there, if you can call it that. The Ethereals toyed with us, as if we ever had a chance. They let us fight on because they needed us. Needed our bodies for the grotesque things they make deep beneath the city. You think you're safe here, behind your stone walls. But those things from Malmouth will keep coming, and they will find you. And no fortress will ever be able to save you.
a chilling tale indeed. In our fight against the Chthonians, we've overlooked a growing ethereal threat. We must find Ulgrim. But maybe we can aid Melmoth at the same time. You've already done a great deal, but we must ask for your help once again. We need you to strike at the heart of the ethereal invasion, far to the east, in the ruined city of Malmouth.
And strike back we will. But not today. So there's a couple of ways that I might take this on. I'm intending to take a break from this playthrough right now because, as I mentioned, I think either in this video or the last one, I am going to play through Battle Chasers Night War, or at least I'm going to give that a shot, for a change of pace to get me away from just playing a lot of Grim Dawn, which I've been doing. I do want to carry on with this character because I'm really enjoying it. As we go forward, I've got two ways I can proceed. One is we can go straight into the new content. That's not a bad idea because we're still going to continue to receive a lot of XP rewards and the loot will be what the loot is. The other option I have is to push this character up to this stage again in Elite. So coming back, I would be probably getting up around level 60, 70, something like that. And then we would pick up from this same storyline point again without having to watch me run through the same content just to jump my levels up again. That might be what I choose to do. I've been meaning to play, I'd love to play this character a little bit more, refine it a little bit more, because I do think this guy has a chance of potentially being that elusive first level 100. That said, I'm going to make that call off screen, and I'm going to go ahead and end this playthrough here for now and put a pin in it. But QuestySparks is going to be back. Probably firstly, he'll be back on stream while I do a little bit of that leveling through Elite. And if you never see him again, well, that's what happened. I was leveling him through Elite and I got him killed. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. Wrestling with Lungorian, the Blood God, Chthon, whatever I originally thought his name was. You did enjoy it. I hope you look forward to seeing this character again. And even if you don't, feel free to look me up. Questy Lurks on Twitch. You'll see him again there at least. And he will probably be back. And some Grim Dawn content will definitely be back. But in the meantime, we're taking a big old turn-based break from it for some Battle Chasers Night War. Thank you very much. And I'll see you in the next one.